Ba-boom! Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. Back again for another week, clapping them ass cheeks. It's the best producer in the whole wide world, Mr. Ozark Mark. He's sitting about 4 to 5 feet across from me. He is here in the flesh. Now he's in your ears. All right, he's in your ears. Mark, what's happening?
What up, you sloppy nuts?
You little sloppy sluts.
Yeah, you're back up in this maw for another fantastic episode of 1 hour of horror podcast entertainment.
Yeah.
Because you have something wrong with you, just like us. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. So we're all one big dysfunctional group. As a unit, we're fucked up. But here,
we
we're
got
good.
each other.
Yeah, we're here. We're good. And today we are talking about the last episode here in the Jam It Up in Your Box Office season, and that was the one and only Poltergeist II.
That's right, baby. It's the P2.
P2 all up in your pee hole.
Seriously, it's weird to me because obviously we've discussed Poltergeist. We've covered 2 Poltergeist movies. It just feels like we've covered this one. It's a movie I'm very familiar with, watched it my whole life, and I talk about it all the time. I talk about Reverend Cain all the time. It's just a weird thing that we haven't covered it yet, but I talked about this last week, but Poltergeist 3, I do love it, but it's kind of a weird reality that Heather O'Rourke was sick during the filming of that movie, and she didn't know she was sick, and it's just like, but we know she's sick, and it's just kind of fucked up. And it's hard not to think about it. And also at the same time, I mean, like, all of these movies, it's essentially her being, like, dragged into the afterlife, so it's, like, kind of hard not to connect the dots to the parallels. It's just weird after, like, all these years watching. I don't know if you caught, like, the scene in this movie where she's talking to her grandma, and grandma's like, well, when I was your age, blah, blah, blah. And what do you want to be when you get older? She's like, I don't want to be older, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, dude. Didn't age well.
No, it did not.
I know, dude. Poor girl.
Hopefully, look past that and just enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
I guess,
honestly, you have to. You have to, or else it's like seriously a sad reality. But one thing I don't understand how, but Poltergeist, they're just like the perfect family horror movies. There's just this touch that I can't really describe. There's elements of horror, but I just really, the mom and dad aspect, Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams, they feel like mom and dad. Everyone feels like a family, and I love these movies because they do that. There's like a thing where they like seriously, they highlight every member of the family. There'll be like frights for dad. It'll show him getting irritated and then he individually gets attacked. It'll show mom and they'll like prey on her vulnerabilities and what she's sensitive to. And then like in the kids and shit, you remember even in the first one, the little boy, he's like in his room and then like this tree is scratching the window and the fucking clown comes out and he's like, nope. He goes under the blankets. It's like, there's fear for everybody there, man. Like, something palpable for everybody.
Yeah, dude, a tree branch has messed up a kid. Every kid in their lifetime. Messed up me at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a hand or something coming to get you. They'll fuck you up if you're in the wrong spot.
Or clothing on, like, a chair, like in the dark.
Yeah,
that's...
What is that? Especially if you got bad eyes, dude. It'd be messing with you.
Yeah,
you're not all the way dilated yet.
I'm just not going to pay attention and it'll go away.
No. Dude, that'll fuck you up, too.
Oh, yeah.
Something standing there that you're not used to in the dark.
You get older, you get more irritated. Like, you just yell at the ghosts. We've talked about this. Some Sixth Sense shit. You go in your kitchen late at night, like, look here, lady. You're not just going to come out here and scare me. All right? That's not going to happen. I come in here to get some cereal. You can't just be in here. You can't just, all right? You want something to eat? Help yourself. But we're not going to be scaring people. You'd just be irritated at an older age. As a kid, though, you'd be fucking pissing your pants. You'd be like that little boy. Run into your tent. You get older, you'd just be like, you again? Oh, my God. Get over it.
I'm going to get some Native Americans in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the funniest part about this movie. It's like such like the generic. It's like such a generic version of like a white guy's image of like Indians back then.
Yeah, it is.
It was like
Yeah, it is.
It's like Glenn Fry from the Eagles was like, "I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight."
It's the Indian that you picture in front of every casino.
I know. Remember that? Like, what was that in the 80s and 90s? Remember people who had like sand art in their home too, like those little bottles of sand that they would fill up. Like,
yeah, it's the colored sand. I had one of those. I don't know why I got it or why I had it. It's so stupid.
that makes me think of that. What was that? That game started with an M, like Manolia. It was like you had the little fucking things that you would like. And it was like a little wooden board, and you had to like jump these little Orby pieces all around. You know what I'm talking?
Get it in the holes or whatever.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
I never knew how to play that.
It's pre-internet shit right there, baby. Like that takes us back. But yes, it was very funny, very comical. And like that was honestly an issue in Hollywood for a long time, like Indians not being portrayed correctly, but I don't know how they feel particularly about this movie. I mean, they're the heroes of the movie. They saved the movie, but not necessarily historically accurate. I mean, honestly, I just it works very well, and there's just a lot of this movie that I just do enjoy. I love the family aspect. I love the practical effects. Some of the practical effects are just gorgeous in this. I don't know. It's just not. It's hard for me to hate. It really is. And after all these years, dude, I don't give a shit. I'm still afraid of Reverend Cain. I don't like it. You know, I don't like him. He just freaks me out. Now, I know that we're going to get into everything from, you know, a synopsis into more things about this movie. But first and foremost, if you are a listener on YouTube, or if you're not, open up your phones, open up YouTube, look up Sloppy Horror Podcast and hit that subscribe button. And what that does is that's a free way to help us out big time, okay? And it's how you have access to all of our video episodes. But if you want to go a little further, open up your phone, open up Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give Sloppy Horror Podcast 5-star rating. All right, share it on your social medias. All of these things are completely for free to do. If you want to go a step further, you can, go to our Patreon, get some merchandise. You can even pay for us to come to your city. There's all kinds of things that we would do. But if you're just looking for a fun, free way to help out the show, it takes 5 seconds. All right? So, now that we're caught up on all of that, all of the preliminaries, I think it's time we have to fill some shoes.
Fill them shoes. We about to fill them shoes.
Yeah. That's right, man. I'm here to take a shit in your shoes, all right? It's almost like when you're putting your feet in a bath with those little fish that come and eat the dead skin off your feet, all right? It's almost like a bucket full of warm oatmeal you're slipping your toes into, all right? While somebody slops your knob. I don't know. I'm thinking outside the box here.
I kind of want to get my knob slobbed with oatmeal in my shoes now.
Yeah,
it might enhance it. Because you know what I mean? Because they say wear socks to it. It kind of enhances it. What about some oatmeal?
Mm-hmm. Oof. And socks just help with friction if you're standing.
Yeah, get a little static electricity in there and just zap that shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. But anyways,
oh, yeah. Benjamin Franklin.
Fill my shoes, please.
Okay. Well, look here. This is 1986. Kind of a weird year. Not a whole lot of crazy things going on, but I am going to fill you in on the things that were popular and what was going on. I would say, truthfully, the biggest news story of the year was the Challenger explosion.
That's a big one.
It was, dude. And what was really fucked up about that, if you remember, they had that teacher that went up into space for the first time. And most of, the bad shit that had happened, with NASA, most of the folks didn't know about the people that, died before the moon launches and stuff. That was very secret information. Apollo 13 happened, but those boys got home. That was yeah, we can do anything. This was a situation where they made deals with schools all around the United States of America. And you remember back in the day, school day, they'd wheel out that little cart with the TV on it and shit. You're like, hell yeah. And they made all these kids watch this shit live, and then the fucking thing blows up and they all die. I know, bro.
It's so bad.
I know.
It's going to be a lot of trips to McDonald's after that.
Yeah, bro, you would think so, dude. You need some
them
Happy Meals.
Kids or something. Get them a toy. Not a space toy.
Yeah.
Something different. Like a dinosaur or something.
Yeah, watch something on the ground,
Yeah.
No Star Wars today, kids.
Yeah.
Man, that was a pretty fucked up thing. And this, if I didn't mention the date, May 23rd, 1986. At the time, #1 movie was Top Gun, obviously very big. Movies that year, some big ones, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Fly, love that flick, Pretty in Pink, Stand By Me. The #1 song at the time was Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All. It was a big year for people like Bon Jovi, Janet Jackson. That was kind of that time in music. MTV was huge still. Hair metal was still huge. All right, lots of Aquanet still. As far as sporting events, well, actually, it was a TV show that was big in '86? Alf. Remember Alf? I love Alf. He ate cats, man.
Who doesn't like Alf?
Yeah, man. Just a little.
Such an odd TV show.
It really was. Did you know that dude, the dad on Alf, ended up like being into some crazy, like making gay porn and smoking crack?
No.
Yeah, like smoking crack in his gay porn.
Huh.
Like bro went all out. The dad, the little nerdy dad with glasses.
I mean, he looks like he would be doing that. So,
bro,
the
'80s.
More power to you, as long as you don't hurt nobody, I guess.
'80s took a hold of that motherfucker.
Don't knock it till you try it. I mean, I'm not trying it, but hey, who am I to judge? I've never tried.
Crack. I
never tried crack and putting it up dudes' butts. I probably will never try either of those, let alone together. So,
yeah.
Who knows? But good for you, buddy.
It's all right, Alf's dad. It's all right. We're not mad.
Well, that makes it more funny when you look at him now.
Oh yeah. Definitely makes you raise an eyebrow. All right. Maybe he was the perfect guy for an alien. That
I guess he was. I mean, that's probably what you get. We're working with an alien puppet. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about our sports champions of the year. The 1986 Major League Baseball champions of the year. Big City, Big Apple, the New York Mets. All right.
Everybody forgets about the Mets.
They do, man. They do.
Last thing I knew about the Mets was Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza.
Yeah, he was a catcher.
Yeah. They had a good little squad then, man. I remember one of them because I'm a Reds fan, obviously being in Cincinnati. That's my #1 team. But I love the Yankees as well. That's my #2 team. But I don't hate the Mets. Like it's like also a New York team. I just appreciate that. I do like them.
New York gets 2 teams of everything.
So many people, dude.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, so many people.
Some states don't even have any.
What's even crazier is like it shows you how many people there's scales to it. So like say like for example like Cincinnati I think has like 350,000 people in it. So Philadelphia 1.5 million, and they've only got one of everything. So it's like when you go to like LA or like it's like 8 to 9 million, but it gets fucking crazy.
That's too many people.
They've got the market for it, you know.
It's too many people.
But like I said, like I discussed before, we discussed this before. Either you're generally Mets and Jets or Yankees Giants, which is ironic because in 1986 the New York Giants won the Super Bowl. All right, Lawrence Taylor and them boys.
The Giants.
Yep. The 1986 NBA champions were the Boston Celtics. That was Robert Parrish and the motherfucking
the Birdman.
Yep, the Larry Birds. They were doing their thing.
Larry's not white. Larry's clear.
You gotta give me one of those hats. And then the 1986 NHL champions were the Montreal Canadiens. So
good for them.
I feel like we're pretty caught up for 1986.
Yep.
We're in there.
Yep.
We're in the bag.
We're in there like swimwear, baby.
Yep. So I guess it's time for a little synopsis of the old P2. It's kind of a simple and easy flick to describe, but if you've seen Poltergeist 1, this movie picks up directly after Poltergeist 1, which, as you guys know, a family gets a new home that's built on an Indian burial ground, and it's cursed, and it pissed off the Indian burial ground, and some spirits have attached themselves to the family itself, and they are fucking mad. In the first one, they took their kid and the mom into the fucking, like, inner dimension, and then brought them back. So they move in the second one, but it doesn't matter because the shit's following them, and Reverend Cain is kind of like the leader of this creepy brigade after them, and there's no place that's safe for them. So they eventually have to seek refuge with Indians, and Indians help them out to, defeat these demons. But it gets pretty crazy. There's even some like Halloween Town concepts in here where like the mom and The Shining, where like the mom and the grandma are clairvoyant, and like they don't want Carol. Grandma wants the daughter to be clairvoyant and like wants her to be like into the spiritual world, but mom does not, wants her to be normal life, but mom also has the powers too. Some like Shining shit, also some Halloween Town dynamic going on there. But interesting. But I did enjoy it. Very scary at moments. Now I should ask, is this the first time you saw Poltergeist 2?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. I'm assuming you probably felt kind of like home because you had seen these people before. Like, I mean, you're acquainted.
Yeah, it's weird watching them out of order. I've completely watched these movies out of order because of the show. So we did the first one, then we did the third one, and now we're doing the second one. So there's a lot of comfort in that to me. Also, I liked how it picked up directly after the first one, which is perfect. All same people. I love when horror movies do that.
I do too.
There's a comfort in that. And these movies to me are just so weird because it's like, it's a horror movie. This is some scary shit that's happening, theoretically.
Yeah.
But it's like a family, and there's like lighthearted music between intense moments, and just very interesting characters. Reverend Cain is just scary as shit in general.
For
but
sure.
It's just weird. It's like if Disney made a horror movie to me or something. It's just weird. It's because like it's scary.
You hit it right on the head.
But you can watch it with the whole family. Because there's no nudity, there's no intense shit. There's like there's like a rape kissing or something when Reverend Cain gets into the dad and tries to force himself on the mom, but there's nothing crazy. You can explain that to anybody.
Husbands can't rape wives, dude.
But it's just
I got a contract. I have a legal contract.
I have a legal binding contract.
Hey, we got a contract to argue.
Yes, sir. But yeah, but other than that, man, this is a very interesting movie, and it's great. It's a fun one.
It's
a fun movie.
There's like a weird theory to that, like kind of what you're saying too with the family aspect, because I watch a lot of horror movies by myself, and like I'm not tough in any regard, but you're numb to them. If you were home, Mark, and you were home by yourself at nighttime, at midnight, all the lights are off, and you're watching Candyman or Hostel or Scream or Ghost Ship, are you scared? No, you're not fucking scared. If you heard something at your window, you might be afraid, but you're not afraid of, like, you may occasionally catch a new movie that catches you off guard where it's like wait a minute, I'm gonna flip the light on. Like, that's so rare. That is so fucking rare. But there's this weird element of, I've gone to premiere nights of horror movies and in a large crowd, and you hear the heart rate of other people. You hear other people gasping, and like they're, when somebody does that and it freaks you out, you're like, what the fuck? Relax. Like, you make me jump doing it. Don't do that. Like, and when you're in a crowd full of people, like, there's like a weird like mob mentality. It's funny. It's almost like you're on a roller coaster with people that are screaming and whatever. And even if you are not, like, you're a part of this thing. And going to the movies is awesome because I don't care who the fuck you are. It's hard to watch a movie without picking up your phone if you are at home. You want a challenge? You want a mental challenge to like really be a mentally tough person? Like, seriously? And try to beat something? Put on a movie that you want to watch. Don't like force yourself to watch something you don't want to watch. And don't pick up your phone. And if you can complete that task, you're mentally tough as fuck. Because it's hard. And that's why the movies are great.
Well, it's a lot easier to do that with a movie you've never seen, as long as it's interesting.
Sure.
Or if you pay for it, like I have to sometimes. But if it's a movie I've seen before, like, I'll pick up my phone when it's the slow times, when it's the touching dialogue scenes or whatever, the boring stuff. You know, the type of stuff you make out with somebody with during or something. And like, oh, here's the boring part. Let's lock tongues.
We were raised in a generation, though, like now, sometimes the TV is background noise till you eating or you scrolling on your phone or whatever it may be, right? But when we were younger and bored, we put the TV on because it was like the coolest thing to have on. Yeah. Like it was the phone, like it was like the phone. It was the coolest thing that, like, bro, I got this new movie. You're like, oh, fuck. I can't see this anywhere else. Like, you've got that? I'm coming over tonight. Like, now you're like, cool, I'll rent it myself, fucker.
Well, cool, I'll just watch clips of it.
Yeah, or just like, I can do whatever you are doing. But like, when you were younger, it felt like you were like, dude, I've got the new whatever. Like, even be it a video game or whatever, but it was hard to have something of that. And I don't know, man. I kind of miss that in a way. I do. There's a part of that I miss, but the attention span, I love that about the movies. But if you go see a horror movie in a packed house for a premiere night, for a movie that's just going to get some screams and scares, it could be annoying if you have an annoying crowd, but if everybody's watching, it's kind of funny, man. There'll be moments where people shout or, get scared.
See other people watch.
Yeah, but it'll get you into it, too.
That's the best kind of person to watch a horror movie with, someone who gets scared easily.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, they don't know, like, they've seen horror movies before, but you still don't know what jump scare's coming. Like, come on. Like, they're so predictable.
I know.
They're so predictable. Like, here comes the slow move. Yeah, they're so predictable. Like, how do you not know that a jump scare is coming? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's so funny because they just don't, even though when they do know it's coming, they just get all crunched up and ready for it, and they still fucking get scared. So that's joyous to me,
You know what? I'll give credit. I may have mentioned this on here before, but Train to Busan, people mentioned or told me to watch that movie for a couple years. It was like 2 years. I watched it. I was like 2 years late to the game, and my family left for vacation. It was like I had this new job. I had to stay at home, and I was just like, all right, I'll stay here, be here for the dogs. It was with the in-laws too, so I was like, you guys go. I'll stay here, hold it down, right? I was like, I was so tired, I was so restless, but it was like late, and I was like, I'm gonna put on something to watch, right? And I put this fucking movie on, dude. Like so many horror movies that people recommend me to watch, and some end up okay, and some drag at moments. Some take me twice to watch. It's hard to beat that phone game when you're at home.
Sure.
This fucking movie, dude, had me smoking. Like, I had the lights on. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like this, like I wasn't like scared to the point like where like I couldn't carry out the rest of my day. It didn't bleed in. There was no bleed into like my regular life because it's an unbelievable situation. But through this movie, not once did I look at my phone. And I wasn't thinking of a challenge. It's one of those. And the fucking thing's in subtitles, but it does not matter. There are zombies on a train, and like there's minimum words anyways, and like you understand. Like there's no like, wonder what's going on here. It's not like a bunch of dialogue between people like a romance. No, those are zombies.
I'm tired of these motherfucking zombies on this motherfucking train.
Yes. I think you would actually really enjoy that movie. But that's honestly within I would say the last 5-6 years, one of the only ones that has really rocked me. The sadness was pretty good too. Something about those Korean horror flicks that are fucking crazy. But that one is one of the few that did get me. But I do love to get a little bit of that experience of riding the ride with people and going to the theaters. Because sometimes, man, I'll go on a premiere night or I'll want to go, and I'm like, all right. And, you go to buy tickets, and it's like a packed house, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Do that. That'd be cool. It's kind of cool to see this with all these people. These people are here on a Thursday night premiere to see a random horror movie. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. These are my people then. Like... Or I love just dragging one of my children or innocent bystanders. Like taking my son on Thanksgiving to see Thanksgiving. That wasn't him. He didn't know what the fuck Thanksgiving was. I just said, we're going to the movies, little bro. Like, like this is what we're sleeping. But like they've grown accustomed to that too. Dad just drags us to the movies to watch weird horror movies that are like, I will make sure that it's appropriate in the sense of like that they can view it. But I just watched Late Night with the Devil with my oldest, which is now on Shudder. I can't recommend that one enough. It's great. If you love like old talk shows and stuff, some cool a little bit of body horror, a little bit of religious horror, it's just a little bit of fun. It's not terrifying at all. It's not terrifying, but it's just like a cool movie. Like you remember like even like The Menu or like a Would You Rather kind of movie. It's not like those kind of parameters, but it's like not exactly horror, but like just creepy and cool. Like you're like, oh yeah, I fuck with this. I like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the P2. What a great little piece inside of the franchise.
What's your favorite part of P2?
it's gonna be Craig T. Nelson moments. It really is. It might be the conversation he's having with his wife about the Indian guy when he's looking out the window. He's like, "Look, I don't got anything wrong with these people. I think I read, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. I got through a few chapters. I even think I'm part Indian, like 1/16 Blackfoot, my grandma's side." It's like, that's a conversation that like every white guy has had, which makes it
everything.
Yeah, like that's so funny to me. And
it's like your white guilt coming in. Like you don't have to have white guilt.
I don't
you
know.
didn't do anything.
Like those old cowboy and Indian movies, like those dudes got really into Indian shit, and it's like I don't get it because a lot of them are like, "Well, I got part Indian in me," and it's like, Earl, I'm here to tell you.
You do not.
You have no Indian. Those are not your people.
No.
Like they don't like you. Like I'm maybe like now times, but I'm just saying like the lineage that you think you line up with, you don't.
You ain't there.
If we press the rewind button 200 years, you're getting fucking scalped, brother. Like you're not like you're not on the other side. All right, you're not with your, sweeping out the TP. All right, that's not happening, bro. Like that. So I don't know, but there was old grandpas that were like that. They're like, I'm part Cherokee. It's like,
no, you're not, Grandpa.
You have rosacea, Grandpa. Like you do. You are not. There is not a dash of tan in your blood. There is no Indian in you. Like
pale as shit.
Yeah, you better look like old bro from fucking Twilight coming, like the werewolf, the Jacob dude. Like, yeah, I'm Indian. Like, all right, yeah, I'll buy it.
Maybe.
I'll buy it.
Oh, dude, my favorite part is a Craig T. Nelson moment as well. It's when shit starts happening in the house for the first time, and they start running out like to get out of there, and the Indian guy is at the front door just standing there. He's like, "I've come to help." Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, that's great, whatever." He's like, "What's that psychic lady's name?"
Zelda, I believe.
Yeah, Zelda. He's like, "Zelda sent me." And Craig T. Nelson, without a beat, is like, "Cool, tell the magic munchkin we're done." He called her the magic munchkin.
Dude, he's got so many great moments in this movie.
He's just a total dad because, you can relate to it because if this thing happened to you, you just don't want it to happen. You're just like, this is just an annoying thing. You're just like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done with it.
I don't know if we mentioned the dad and the son, but like I love that aspect too of him like listening to the game on the radio because like they're not having TVs and he's like listening and then all of a sudden he gets to the station and dude hits a home run. He's like, "Oh, did you see that?" And son's like, "I didn't see anything." Well, he's like, "You just got to use your imagination, son." It's like such dad shit though. Like you really do at that moment when you're young, like. There's just, I don't know. I feel guilty or bad if you didn't have those kind of figures in your life to give you. I'm happy to be those kind of figures now that I'm older. Like, that's the kind of dads that I try to emulate.
Yeah.
Kids are pissing him off. He's just giving them change. Like, here, go play pinball. Get out of here. Go play pinball. And, like, as a kid, you're like, "Oh, Dad's awesome. He just gave us pinball money." But you're like, "Oh, he was irritated. I didn't understand." But now
it's not hard, man. You just got to remember you were a kid at that time. You know what 10-year-olds like. You know what 8-year-old boys like. You know what it's like. Just do that.
Yep.
That's what a good dad is. Not like the sergeant dads are trying to discipline you, all the time. Be like, no. Like, come on, man. You were a kid, too. You know what they want to hear. You know what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Like, if I walk up to a group of 12-year-old boys and they're, like, throwing a rock, looking at a tree, and they're, like, trying to throw a rock up into it, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, I'm a part of what's happening.
Yeah, give me a rock, dude. I'll hit it first.
"My ball's up there." "Oh, okay, let's get a stick." Like, you're just like, everybody's like, I get what they're doing. They're trying to, what are those boys doing out there? They're trying to get the ball.
Just get a MacGyver. Just come in there with a rope swing and just sling that shit.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
Things make sense, too. Yeah, they'll hit you. You look outside and they'll be like, "What are you doing? These are bases for our wiffle ball field."
Yeah.
Proceed.
Cool.
Proceed. We're playing forts. All right.
Okay.
Sounds about right. At least you're doing something.
Yeah.
All right, don't break anything. Don't let your mother see that you got that thing. All right.
You gotta let them get hurt. You gotta put them in danger. You gotta let them learn. That's what it is. That's what you learn. You learn from pain.
Oh, bro, for sure.
If it's a stupid idea, if you tell them it's a stupid idea, they don't care. They're gonna do it anyway. If you know it's a stupid idea, you're just like, "All right, let's see what you do." That's what my dad does to me now. Every time I got an idea, he's like, "Yeah, okay."
You remember, like,
it's like he knows something and I don't.
You'd, like, wipe out on your bike. You'd be all skinned up, and you go in, and, like, your mom would clean you up, and your dad just hits you with that, like, Your arm could be off, and he's just like, yeah, crash your little bike. All right, well, I'm gonna be working on other stuff because I'm productive. You know, you're just like, there's never that like moment. Like that's why men are like that. Like his dad taught him. His dad taught him. Just like, you know, there's this moment. Like I say, you got to pull your little boys off the mom's tit a little bit. You have to because, you know, it's mom's job to nurture. You know, but at some point you got to hit them with that. Rub some fucking dirt on it.
Exactly.
It seems mean, but it's healthy. It builds the character.
Well, I feel like getting educated. So,
Smart.
Let's figure out more things about this movie.
Yeah.
Well, all right there. Welcome to the What Do You Know Here. It's a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. Now, if you know, we know you're going to find out what we know. If you don't know, we know you're going to we know gasm, all that stuff. You know how it goes. I'm tired of talking about it. Yeah. So, I don't know whose turn it is to go first, so you just tell me something about this movie, please. Thank you.
Look. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of an interesting fact here, because you remember last week when we was talking about The Species, that movie. There was a particular artist who stepped in to help with the special design and all this stuff, and it was a man by the name of H.R. Geiger. And this dude, he did a lot of work for like Alien, and he did that creepy robot-looking alien look. It's hard to describe his look as anything else but Geiger. Well, he also worked on this movie too, a little bit. He did a little bit of the shit for like the worm that came out of Craig T. Nelson's mouth. He wasn't too pleased with the end result though, but he did work on this movie, so that's a little fact. He was getting paid. That's a little fact.
He didn't do a bad job.
No, he didn't.
Man does good work.
Now, when it comes to Poltergeist II, do you have any facts regarding this movie?
Yes, I do actually. So check it out. So there's a scary character called Reverend Cain in this movie. Very scary man. Very scary man. Here's a fun little fact that you didn't know. So, Carol Ann. She's an actor, right? Even though she's acting, even though she knows that these are actors, this is not her first rodeo, okay? She knows what characters are and stuff.
She's done
right?
movies.
Yeah, but the first time she saw Reverend Cain on the set, she was so scared she started to cry.
How would that fucking make you feel if you like were so scary looking?
You know you're doing it right though. If you're going to a child actor, you know it's a movie. You know it's a character. It's not even a mask. You just look fucking scary. You make children cry. You were doing something right. That's a high five to you. That's a win.
I imagine that's a win. I imagine that's how the old guys, you know, with the white beards feel when little kids look at them and say Santa.
Yeah.
You know, I'd lean into it.
But just the opposite.
You know.
Just the opposite.
Yeah.
You know.
It's Santa.
Look like, you know, a lot of people say Reverend Cain looks like Joe Biden.
He does look like Joe Biden.
He does.
Joe Biden's. Dude, he looks
Biden
so much.
Cain.
He looks
I'll tell
so
you
much
what,
like
man,
him.
if he comes out dressed like fucking Reverend Cain, no fucking country would ever fuck with us anymore. That would be fucking scary as shit.
You walk into meetings like, you know, I heard we got some deals to sign.
No, we don't.
No more deals for us. We must go. We must go from here. He terrifies.
Well, that's what we got to do. That's how we're gonna save the country. You dress up Biden as a Reverend Cain, and you know, we're the powerhouse once again. There we go. So we're not only telling you facts here on the show, we're solving world problems one day at a time.
Boom.
You got any more facts?
I think that's it.
Okay, that's good. Neither do I. So it's time to go now and back to the regular scheduled programming.
Well, Mark, what the hell are you gonna do? You got evil ghosts attaching themselves to you and chasing your family around. What the hell are you gonna do?
Find an authentic Indian.
Okay.
And have him do it, because clearly that worked.
Mm-hmm.
So they're one with the spiritual world and the realms and all that stuff. It's on an ancient bend, you know. Get an Indian. Get one that's like on the American Spirit cigarette pack, that looking Indian.
Yeah, dude.
Not a modern one that's been decivilized into the American culture. No,
I want the Kamsa.
I want the one that lives on the sacred land of whatever it is. Has, ties to Chief Running Wood or whatever they call him. I don't know.
We need one of them boys from Green Inferno.
Yeah, we need one of them boys. No, well, yeah, that would be scary too.
Yeah, those
I don't
guys.
think they'd fuck with Ghost. Either that or Zach Bagans. One of the two. One of the two.
I'm Zach Bagans. Now this place, go in there, figure it out. Figure out what's going on in there.
He does a lot of possession crap now when he can't find evidence of Ghost. This episode's are the worst.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot.
I always
of
got sucked
shit.
in. I always got sucked into them damn Ghost shows.
They're good though.
They're hard. Some of them are hard to watch because they're so cheesy. But I mean, it just becomes funny after a while of how horrible it is. But like when they first started out, dude, and they didn't have all that production in it. It was just them and cameras.
One of my favorites was the MTV show Fear. That show was awesome.
They need to bring that back.
That was so cool because they gave him challenges and shit, like stand in front of the sink that he died in front of, and like anybody that's done ghost hunting on their own or been in creepy places, when you're gonna freak yourself the fuck out.
Dude, it's easy to watch on TV because you're not there. But I'll tell you, you go into a haunted ass place where it's pitch black. It's a whole different world, dude.
Yeah, dude, your mind's gonna take control.
Oh yeah, your mind's gonna fuck with you hard. Any little noise, it's so quiet there that like air moving sounds like some shit. You'd be freaked out.
What was that?
I don't think so.
You remember in Stand By Me when Vern was on watch and he was like, huh, huh. Like it's just like, that's how you would be, bro. Just pointing at everything, like. But yeah, dude, that like daytime, no big deal. Like, why is that that's a primal thing, dude? That's caveman shit. I mean, obviously you can't see, but it's just like the world is different. There are two different worlds. There's a daytime world and a nighttime world.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're two separate things.
I know. That's why it amazes me. Like, people are scared of the dark. Like, why? Why? It's the same thing as if light was there. It's just you can't see. It's the only thing. I guess not seeing is scary.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on, I guess, your level of like how dark everything is, because eventually your eyes adapt. But like, like when you're driving like on an old country road at nighttime and you flip your lights off and it's just like nada.
Oh, dude, I've done that. That's a scary thing to do.
You're like, fuck.
Nope,
dude.
turn it back on. Turn it back on.
You're like, fuck, bro.
Yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, dude.
You don't realize how dark is until you're in dark.
Yeah. Like, oh shit.
It's not cool.
Yeah, because then you're like, dude, I don't want no fucking animals to hit no. That's my mindset of like, I'm gonna hit a deer out here, dude. I have to hop out.
You're more likely to hit a deer with the lights on. Run right into them bitches.
Idiots.
Mm-hmm.
They are. What is that?
Like giant bugs. Just fucking go towards light like an idiot.
Yeah, you have to hunt them because if not, they'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they're always banging.
Yeah, lucky sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm. They're banging and they're everywhere, and they don't have car insurance. So.
I know. Why hasn't any car insurance had a mascot of a deer yet?
It's a good idea.
That's like the perfect thing for a car insurance company is a
We're
deer.
copywriting that immediately.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. I don't know what we call the insurance company, but we call it something. Bambi Insurance.
Antlers. Rack. Buck.
Bucky. No, Bucky's is the gas station already.
Just might have to be Buck.
I don't know. We'll come back to that later. But Reverend Cain, dude.
I want no parts of that guy.
Scary fucking man.
He's unsettling, dude.
He's like one of the scariest characters in a horror movie ever. And it's no mask, just an outfit and him.
I know, man. Julian Beck, I mean, I feel bad because obviously, he did have cancer and he was dying, but you just don't see that where somebody's like, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to do something scary. I look creepy like the Emperor from Star Wars, so I'm going to scare people now. Like,
and not to be mentioned, like, you're in cancer, so you don't have energy. You're going through some shit. Like, you are dying.
That sounds like some shit like that I am meant to do. Like,
Yeah.
Like on my final days, like, you could be in a horror movie. Like okay, that makes sense for Christian. But, like, just some random fucking dude, he's like, oh, that can work. You sure? You okay? Can I be creepy?
Like, just that walk up to the house should take all the energy out of you. But nope, he's good. He's creepy as ever. And energy and not.
I always get around. Immediately getting shot. Like, well, I'm not. Fuck that guy. Like,
Hey, that dude, just kick him or something. That's the only non-scary thing about him is he's just a weak old man. So you can
just go up a bunch of stairs.
Yeah.
Just keep going upstairs. He ain't gonna get you.
No.
Take that, old man.
Just be in somewhat of shape, and you can outrun him.
Oh yeah.
And just punch him. He's just an old man.
Yep. Come on, old man. There's a diner right there. They got soup. Just go in there. All right, just go. You know you want to go in there.
They
There's
got
other old
soup.
guys.
It's like 4 o'clock, dude. You know.
There's other old guys in there. They're talking. Go in there. You know, and that's how you lose them. You got to walk by some old guy stuff and get them there.
Yeah, but that's crazy, man. Good for him for doing that.
I know.
Perfect fit.
And the guy they had in the third one wasn't him. Like, they used scenes that they had, like Reverend Cain, but it was a different guy.
Yeah.
So, to do something all those years ago, he still lives in my head, rent-free. You can mention Reverend Cain. I know exactly what the hell you're talking about. I wish I could do something that badass in, like, my final year that would live that long. Like, does it make sense? Like, because usually, like, you feel like, oh, like your young years are your prime, and then like eventually, you know, you come to like my good years are behind me, like, you know, that kind of feeling, but not the case. And some people get famous when they're old, but at the same time, you could make a movie that's you're a crazy villain in, and you die that year, and like it's talked about forever. Like Colin Clive. I mean, Frankenstein. You watch, you know, after Bride of Frankenstein, he died shortly after. I mean, he was in his 30s. But it's like to see people just like, that's what you were. Like you just, that was it. I don't know. It's cool, man. It's just sweet to see. It's not cool to see people die in movies. But if somebody dies very similar to a movie, you can call me the weirdo for saying, but it's different. You look at Heath Ledger different when you watch The Joker. All right? You don't just like, oh yeah, he's just the Joker. Like, no, bro died. Like pretty soon after, like, soon after this movie, dude died. Like, you're gonna think about that. It just adds a different feeling to a movie. It like, I'm not saying the movie is the reason of their death, but you feel like they gave a lot for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Usually in those cases.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, thanks for scaring the shit out of me, dude. Like, and I want to look up his old. You know what I'm gonna do? Because he's clearly an actor. I want to because I bet you he was in like old westerns, because like that's the way he kind of talked. I'm going to watch an old movie where he's, like, young and, like, a handsome guy, like, when he became an actor, to become an actor, and then I can see him normal, because it's like, I feel bad that that's the only way I know you. Like, you scare me, dude.
It's a really cool way to know someone, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Like, I honestly, I'm about to look that up now. I got to find a good picture of this guy, because he's scary.
Well, you do that. While you're doing that, we're going to go through another realm, to another world, to another dimension, and go to the world-famous Sloppy Horror Podcast rating.
Sloppy Horror Rating, baby, yeah!
Yeah, this is the world-famous, one-of-a-kind, world-renowned Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. You know what's going down here. This is a horror movie rating system developed by Christian Ramey himself. So we're going to rate a horror movie. We're the best ones to do it. Get over it. So we're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 of the categories worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
10 points altogether. That's correct. And it will always be correct until our dying day, as they say.
Yep.
Like a pretty epic day.
Which
Anyways,
is the day.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Just kidding.
No, it's not. You're going to feel real bad. You're going to feel real bad when I leave here and I'll never come back.
Bomb's going to detonate in 47 seconds.
That's not good.
I'm sorry,
Then we got to
man.
do this quick. So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
Strongest category of the movie. It's got to be a 3. All these actors are well known from other things in movies. Kind of has that Omen approach where it's like, ooh, is that Gregory Peck? I love him. And people watched him. Yeah, I mean, Craig T. Nelson was on Coach. He was on all kind of shit. People loved him like that. I mean, that is not in every horror movie. I'm even the best. Let's put up fucking Halloween, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, yes, I love the people in these movies. And you get some sprinkled, like you get a Jamie Lee Curtis or a Johnny Depp, but they weren't those names yet. And it's a lot of young people, a lot of randoms who can deliver. But to get well-seasoned actors who people know, who are household names that cost money. Yeah, it's got to be a 3. It's a like you say, a Disney movie. Like there's heartstrings attached. Like it's not just some corny shit. Like there's a lot. So I gotta go 3.
Okay. So that's 3 out of 10 so far here on Sloppy Horror Podcast Ratings. Getting to the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast Rating, and that is kills.
Just like the first Poltergeist, there are no murders and there are no deaths. It's got to be a 0.
What else can it be if you don't have anything? How can we score it?
Yeah.
It's a 0.
Yeah.
Hey, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Everybody makes it.
Maybe you should kill some people and you might get a score, but you didn't, and that's your fault, not ours. So that's still 3 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast Rating. Let's get into the final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast Rating, and that is fear.
Man, I feel like it's a 1.5. I feel like it's more palpable because it is watchable by a lot of people. A lot of people are religious. A lot of people believe in an afterlife. A lot of people, there's a lot of, if you start talking Indian spiritual guides, your family members crossing over, stuff like that, I still feel like it's a pretty real fear. I'm not saying it's leaving with everybody. Maybe a 1, but it's like, I do feel like there's fear involved here because the people who are watching this, like, I'm judging a harder horror movie that's more graphic in a different way because I know the people showing up to watch Texas Chainsaw kind of have an appetite for Texas Chainsaw, but people coming to watch Poltergeist, they're kind of like your run-of-the-mill people. Like, it's just everybody. Like, if your mom watched this or, like, somebody's mom watched this, I could see them being like, whoo-hoo, and, like, that was the crazy movie. So I do think there's some, but maybe we'll just go a point here. Maybe a point.
All right, we'll go with a point with everything you just said, and for half a point of everything you just said, and the other half point, Reverend Kane.
Yeah.
That'll equal a 1.
Yeah.
That'll
good
equal
point.
a 1. That man is in somebody's nightmare.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Let's just say that there. So, all right. So that's 4 out of 10 so far here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast Rating. It's going to last final 1-point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast Rating, and that is rewatchability.
100%. Great movie to watch with the fam. You can throw it on. Like I said, if this is Halloween time and you're with people who aren't generally people who want to watch a bunch of carnage on TV or they're not even really seasoned to horror, this is a fun one. This is a fun one that you could throw on with people. It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but as we said, nobody's getting murdered, so everybody makes it in the end, and it's all good. It's all good. It's a fun little roller coaster ride. Then you can get off at the end. When you go to Disneyland or Disney World, the rides are cool, but they're not, like, crazy intense. And maybe because we grew up next to Kings Island or whatever, but, like, we're used to, like, coasters. And it's like, they're smooth at Disney. They're super smooth and nice and late and great and whatever, but they're not melt your face. They're not like, you remember the Son of the Beast, dude? That thing would kick your ass. You fuck around, fall out of that thing.
That thing will kick your ass.
They didn't even care. You fall out.
No, it was made of wood.
Fuck these kids.
It's scary enough.
Yeah, dude. A wooden coaster doing loops. Like, it was some shit.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be there.
They took it down. Like,
yeah.
It was...
Yeah, because it's a horrible idea.
It hurt people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. And we just rode that a lot as children.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know. That's how it feels, though. So, definitely rewatchable.
Sure. Yep, it is rewatchable. It's a fun movie. Everything you just said, it's easy watch. It's easy watch. It's a fun story, fun movie, all around great time. So that comes to a total of 5 out of 10 for Poltergeist II. Here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass. There you go. Now you know.
It's a good score.
I'm glad for you to be informed. Now, stamp of approval right on the back of that bitch there.
Everything aside from the remake in the Poltergeist franchise is all the original franchises under the belt. That makes me feel good.
I didn't know there was a remake of it.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because it had Sam Rockwell, and I really like Sam Rockwell. The movie sucks, but Sam Rockwell's awesome. Sam Rockwell is the dude who played Wild Bill in Green Mile. He put the moon pie in his mouth, and I love that guy and all of the movies he does. He's a great actor. But not good. I own it. Didn't anticipate it to be good, but Poltergeist, it's really hard. That's such a lightning in a bottle, and it's such a feeling. A lot of times if I'm watching Poltergeist, me individually, it's because I seek out that feeling. Like, you're like, man, I kind of want to throw in Poltergeist. Like, I kind of want to watch, like, it has its own world, its own feel. Some movies have that. There's a lot of slashers. In horror, there's a lot of carbon copies, which they're great. Here's another slasher that feels like a lot of others. Cool, thanks, man. I'll watch it. Like, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just might be just here you go. But then you just get some that are like, oh, no, that movie's got its own vibe, its own feel, its own aesthetic. Poltergeist fits in that. The third one kind of deviates because we don't have the normal family, but we do have Carol Ann. But these first two, man, they're fucking... That's a great 1-2 punch. Perfect 1-2 punch. If you're looking for a good little binge near Halloween time, I mean, anytime, but like that's a perfect little 1-2 punch. I do stay away from 3 when I have to. I don't really enjoy to watch it just knowing she died. Because she looked different. Remember, she was like sick. Her cheeks were like puffy and stuff, and that sucks, man. Like, if it was like an adult, I care less. Like, I don't want anybody to die, but like kids, I don't like that shit. You know, it's like animals. It's like kids and animals, you know. I don't, like, something about that pisses me off a little more.
It's because they're innocent.
Yeah.
The innocence is still there. When it's adult, they've done some shit. So.
Yeah, he might deserve it. You know, he might have did something. Or he at least lived some of a life.
99% of adults probably go to hell. So, I mean, you know.
I can see that.
So when you're, you know, I hate to, how, you know.
We're all sinners.
Yeah. So just look, everybody's down there. It's probably not as bad. Who knows? It's probably not on hellfire. It's probably just like here. You just live in a shitty apartment. Who knows? I don't know.
It's like little Nicky.
Yeah.
He's down there jamming Ozzy.
Yeah. You can go down there. You might be able to catch a Biggie and Tupac concert. I don't fucking know what it's like down there. Who knows? But a lot of people go there. So think about that.
There's even a highway there.
Yes, there is. Goes right there.
Mm-hmm. It's there, baby. There's even a cell there. It's
Dude.
Hell in a Cell, baby.
How cool would it be if you had unlimited Hell in a Cell matches when you're in hell?
Just in general. Like, that would be like heaven or hell. If, like, you could just have, like, concert lineup. If it was just, like, hey, who would you like to see today? You're like, I'm going to go watch Hendrix, and then I'm going to watch Macho Man versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka. You're like, okay, cool.
It's a hell of a day.
Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be so cool.
I'm going to go watch Tony Hawk doing 900.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm going to go watch the Jackass guys blow stuff out of their butts. I don't know. Whatever they do.
Well,
It'd be
assuming
fun.
they're all gone. There's only one up there now. You get to hang out with Ryan Dunn.
That would be cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
I'm not getting in a car with him, but...
Nah, dog. Well, up there, you'd be good.
I'd give him a little mini bike. He always gets in shenanigans with that.
Dude, he was one of the funniest.
I know, he was great.
I've been rewatching old Viva La Bam. And
Dude,
I've been
that stuff will
dying.
never get old.
It is still
I don't care
funny.
I don't care if it's scripted. It still doesn't feel like it is, though.
Bro, there's parts that are scripted, but then there's also parts where he's just straight up cracking Don Vito with a pillow in the face. And it's just, like, he's not... There are parts where it's like, Don Vito, man, that guy was something fucking else. I don't know... That's what's wrong with like kids like us when we grew up. Man, we watched a lot of that shit growing up, and it was funny.
Dude,
yeah.
I still want to watch that stuff.
It's so funny.
I
Yeah,
know.
there's a lot of it's on free, on YouTube. So
Yeah. Just those old shows. That old era of MTV will just never get old.
no,
to
it
me.
won't. Well, dude, this was a fun season. We did a long season. This one. I mean, it's like gonna be 10 episodes with this finale. So I mean, it's like over 2 months, man. That stretches. Portion of our lives. And if you guys have been here from beginning to end, we thank you for that. We definitely appreciate it. Obviously, next week's episode will be a little recap. We're just going to break down the winners, who scored the best in the 80s and 90s, who was the best movie, who was the best decade overall, who won each category. Kind of a fun little look. Crown a winner. And then, I'm going to give you guys a teaser for what the next season's going to be.
Holy shit, I don't even know that.
Yep.
So we'll find out together.
Yep.
Find out together.
Yeah.
Well, that should be a nice finale episode to look forward to. I'm curious to see who wins. I forgot who I thought I said would win. I think I said the 80s. Well, I think I said the 80s is going to win. Did I think? I think that's what I said.
Yep.
I think that's what I said.
But we can figure that out, and then you do all these beautiful edits, so it's going to be very easy to go back and check all the scores. So just go back.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
No, I'll get that all together.
Could you do it? 'Cause I forget them all.
No, honestly, the best thing you could do is just think about because it won't be the longest. It probably won't be an hour-long episode. We'll just give you, however long it is. We'll just recap it and do whatever. But just, I don't know, think about how you want to break that down on screen, because really, I'll get all that shit written up. It's pretty simple. And our buddy fucking Shane is a beast. He's still been making a spreadsheet. Like, he knows.
Dude, that spreadsheet, oh man, that guy is a hero.
For real,
He
dude.
deserves an award, because there are over 130 columns on that shit. Mm-hmm. He even highlighted the 10s.
Yeah, that's
Who
pretty
does
sick.
that?
A nice guy, dude.
I mean, it's just a click of a button, but still, that takes a lot of
For sure.
time, dude. To go
I didn't
through.
even fucking do that.
No, I wouldn't. That man is a national treasure
That's true.
to this show.
All right. Well, that's another one in the books. P2, that's over with. Now we're moving on. Yeah, you guys should be excited.
That's right. So put some oatmeal in your shoes. Get groovy with yourself. Play with yourself. And come back here next week, because we're going to be all up in it again.
Yeah.
Like we always are.
Finale episode. It's a party. Bring your Hawaiian shirts.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Get you a Tommy Bahama shirt. All right. Or it's going to be a luau.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
That's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I think we're just going to just go now.
All right, guys. Goodbye.